I'm Dr. Siobhan Bussey. I want to give you a couple of study tips to be successful in pathophysiology. I know the saying, so much material, so little time. How can I make this wonderful A in pathophysiology? Let me give you a couple of study tips. First of all, let's figure out what type of learner are you? Are you auditory? Do you hear better or do you learn better when you hear things? So should you record the lecture or should you record yourself reading at your textbook or the PowerPoint presentations? Or are you a visual learner? You like to look at YouTube. You like to look at pictures to help you understand the material. Or are you a tactile learner? You need to write things down. You need to touch things, feel things. So then you listen to the lectures, you write notes, or you read your book and you write notes. So again, figure out what type of learner are you. Another strategy is make you a study sheet. So use those lecture notes and make you just one sheet with everything on it that summarize the content for that day or the content for that module. What about just knowing basic anatomy and physiology? So when you know the basic anatomy and physiology or the basic medical terminology, when your professor is discussing hypothyroidism, you know what it does. You know the function of the thyroid, where it's located at. So when your teacher is discussing that the thyroid gland is underacting, you understand what hormones they are talking about. What about collecting resources? Get YouTube videos, look at lecture notes, use your textbooks, use all the resources available so that you can do well in identifying what you need to study more on. Another key strategy is creating mnemonics. Mnemonics works wonderful when you're looking at detailed information. There's a lot of material you want to understand, and how can you narrow it down to study? An example of using mnemonics, let's look at, for example, how can I identify what are the cause of primary hypertension? So maybe I use the word scholars. So the S stands for smoking. The H stands for high salt or high intake of alcohol. The O stands for obesity, excessive abdominal fat. What about the L? It could stand for low physical activity, not exercising less than 3 times a week. What about your age? That could be one of those risk factors. A person greater than 65 years old. And then race. Maybe someone of the African ancestry. Then stress is for the S. A lot of things are caused by stress. We just don't know. So that's a great example of how mnemonics works. Another way to look at studying is using words association to remember. So example, thrombus is tight. So what does that mean? Thrombus is fixed in a place. Or embolus escapes. Again, using words association. Embolus dissolves and travels to a distant place. And then repetition. Repetition means repeating things over and over into your memory, learning it. Like if you repeat things, it becomes natural. Like you repeat getting up every day, making your bed, hopefully, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. It becomes part of your routine. It comes easily. So repetition works. Also, studying actively. You don't have to study 2 or 3 hours a day. Maybe take periods of time, doing 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there throughout the day. Just setting up actively studying times and calendars to get the information in. And some of you may work great in groups. Maybe find a partner in your course. You could find study groups on Facebook, on Instagram. But just finding groups may work for you. But these are just a couple of little strategies to get you on the path of being successful in pathophysiology. I hope you enjoyed the little tidbits.